It's the weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Oh my gosh, we are live for the first time in a whole new year, Steph, 2025.
How crazy. How crazy that it is 2025. How crazy that is the year that it is.
I remember, and this can make me sound really old, in 1976, that was a big deal. I was a little teeny kid, but I remember like my dad being obsessed with getting like stamped, because it was the 200th anniversary of America or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid thinking, well, what will life be like in 2000 and 2025 and 2050? So 2025 is a marker, right? Marker for, that dates how old I am, but hey, that's the way it is. But it's a marker, like 2025, we're halfway to Minority Report.
Yeah.
We're halfway to Minority Report. So that movie came out in 2004 and we're halfway to the date of Minority Report.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you ever think about like Back to the Future? Haven't we like surpassed the date of the future that Back to the Future was set in?
We did. We actually, I think it was 2018, right? Wasn't that the future date, something like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I love that series of movie. I don't know. Speaking of movies, what have you seen, Steph? I mean, I know you and I are both huge movie buffs.
Yes, Gary, I have been waiting to talk about this. I saw Nosferatu twice.
Okay.
This movie has completely rerouted my brain chemistry. Okay. This movie was incredible. But if you don't like Robert Eggers, the director who directed The Lighthouse and The Witch, you're not going to like this. Like, don't try it. But if you are kind of a fan of his movies, which are more about like the effects of being scared than they are like a jump scare or anything like that, you're going to love it.
I do like that kind of movie, and I have liked his other movies. I know he's very controversial. The movie is either loved or hated. There's no middle in
it's
that
so
movie.
Polarizing. It's so funny. And I saw it with Kelsey and her fiance Chris, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that was good." And I was like, "What?"
So I'm guessing Kelsey didn't see it twice.
No, she didn't see it twice. She saw it once, and she's like, "Yeah, that was cool. That was a movie. That was I enjoyed. It's fine." But I was like, "No, this is amazing. This is incredible." And just the lore behind Nosferatu being like copyright free Dracula is funny to me. So yeah, I think if you were like a Bram Stoker fan, if you like Dracula and like who directed the Dracula movie that came out in the 90s?
I don't remember, but it was very dark. That movie was very dark.
Yeah. But if you liked that, you'll like Nosferatu because it is also very dark. So yeah, I loved it. I'm obsessed with it.
Well, I'm a blockbuster movie kind of guy, so I'm looking forward to the final Mission Impossible movie coming out this summer. So I've been thinking about that I've been watching that preview for that, which just came out. I don't have any movies that I saw that I would mark or make a big deal about, but I am watching the series Lockerbie right now, and I have a connection to Lockerbie, which only a few people know. So that's Pan Am Flight 103. I actually flew that flight 2 days before, and I actually have the ticket. I kept it, of course, because it was a big deal. When that flight went down, but so I've always been kind of obsessed with that, and it kind of disappeared from history for a while. Not a lot of people talk about it. It was the first 747 that went down, right? I mean, 747s did not crash. The only time they crashed when they were shot out of the air or something like that. So this one, of course, it turned out it was blown up. It was crazy. It was when I first started traveling for business. Literally, it was the first year, and it was a strange thing. But the series is I'm pretty sure it's Amazon Prime that I'm watching it on, but it is phenomenal. It's really well made. I want to say it's 8 episodes. It's like a mini series, and I'm on episode 3. I just finished episode 3, and it's like, individual movies. Each episode is like an hour and a half. So I'd highly recommend that if you're into that kind of stuff, this sort of investigation. How do they figure out who did it and that kind of thing. So.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Hey, listen, we are a month away from ISE, and we're as you may know, we have a free code, rAVe Pubs, that you can use to sign up for ISE, and if you use our code, you get in for free. Now let's be honest, there's like, I think 800 other codes because every manufacturer has a code, but at the same time, I think our code does pretty well. We got a really nice note from them over the holidays saying that we were trending really well in our code. And we love the fact that our readers and viewers and stuff will use our code. But most importantly, that's a big show. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of companies have shifted from introducing their products at a show like Infocom or DSC and others to ISE, because at the beginning of the year, and it's an interesting show because it a lot of it, like LG yesterday had a big launch of new robots and, the smart home of the future.
Right.
It's kind of hokey. I watched the video last night, and it was kind of like, it was almost like they used a Tony Award winning stage actor to do it rather than. But yeah, it was kind of weird. It was almost too active. Hi, home. What's on my menu today? It was like that.
Right.
And it was a little bit over the top. But what happens is the stuff they show at CES that is higher end, they show at ISE, right? And then we get the high end consumer stuff, and then we get all the new commercial stuff. And then also, I was talking to Brad Hinsey yesterday, who's going to be our guest on in just a moment from Crestron. I was talking to him yesterday, and he said, what we do at ISE, we spend a lot of time giving our partners a chance to see the products we spent the last year introducing that they haven't actually got to see. Because think about it, when you're a brand like them that is introducing dozens of products, you're not introducing them and shipping them the same day. You're introducing them strategically based on when's the best time to introduce it. So a lot of times you don't get to see these things until you get to a show, unless you're actually ordering them and using them yourself, right? So yeah, so we want you to sign up using our code. So anyway, iseurope.org, ISEUROPE.org. Sign up for the register for the show and use our code rAVEPubs, and you get a free entry into the show. So Steph, what should we just bring our guest on?
Yeah, let's
bring him on. I think probably people have noticed for 2025, you see this logo in the bottom of our screen.
Brand new logo.
Yeah. So Crestron is a sponsor of rAVe TV for 2025. Brad Hinsey, congratulations on your success. Executive Vice President of Global Marketing for Crestron. Welcome to rAVe. I think this is your first time on rAVe TV, isn't it?
I think it is the first time on rAVe TV.
It took 3 years to get you here. You're a busy guy.
You finally pinned me down. We've worked together so much over my career, and I'm really excited to be a part of rAVe TV. I think that you all have been doing some really interesting work, and we're excited to be, a sponsor for this year.
Well, I appreciate it, and let's give Brad some kudos, Steph, because it's like in the middle of the night there where he is. It's 3 hours behind us. So, but we're happy to have you as a new sponsor of rAVe TV. What kind of motivated Crestron to be part of rAVe TV? I kind of know a little bit because you had talked to me about a year ago about doing your own kind of live show and amping up your live presence in the industry. So I know that's part of it, but what else?
Yeah, I think that, for us, the success of Crestron was really found on the partnership with the channel, our end customers, our integration partners, those that specify products. And so that partnership is really vital to our ongoing success. And you are doing a great job at getting information out there, engaging with that community. And so this, we noticed, is a really good platform to have these kinds of conversations and be a part of the conversation. And so that's really what motivated us.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you here. And so how does sponsoring rAVe TV and, being in a partnership with us kind of fit into Crestron's broader vision of connecting with your key audiences? And those are, kind of a range: integrators, end users, all types of tech decision makers.
Yeah. So our CEO, the owner of the company, Dan Feldstein, which is really puts us in a great position to be a privately held company, and one that has been with the company since its founding over 50 years ago, is so dedicated to our relationship and our commitment to partnering with our end customers, our integrators. And he challenged me over the last year and said, how can we be out there more and continue to deepen that relationship? And that pushed us to really prioritize finding new ways to be a part of the community and the conversation.
Well, we are very happy. we're happy you're part of it. We are very proud of this show. We are, we're definitely not shy to talk about how successful and how happy we are with this show, because when Steph and I decided to do it, we kind of did it on a whim. Because we just thought there's nobody doing anything live. We're doing so much video. Let's try live. And now we're pushing it out. As you know, we're pushing out live on YouTube, on ravepubs.com, on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, the company's LinkedIn, pushing out on X, as Steph makes me say, formerly Twitter. And I think, we're even going to look at Instagram this year. I know that we do a lot of social reimagining on Instagram. But, what trends or technologies does Crestron have coming up? I mean, obviously, you are always looking, like I think One Beyond surprised everybody when you had that acquisition, and your how quickly your AV over IP product line took off. So I'm kind of looking, if you're willing to give away some secret sauce, like what could we expect from Crestron in 2025
Yeah, yesterday you almost caught me to pre-announce something, and I self-edited quickly enough, and you're trying it again. No, it's really good. It's you mentioned this started on a whim. So many good things actually start on a whim, and that really ties into one of the big trends that we see. Last year we held AV over IP Week in October, and that idea started on a whim, right? And it's interesting how these things just happen on a Teams call one day, and then it becomes this thing. But AV over IP and content distribution is going to continue to be a massive trend, right? We know that every customer will have more screens, not less, and they need more content on there. So that's a really huge one. Collaboration, right, is of course a massive topic. Even though the return to office is a much bigger discussion, and you see new companies every day talking about everybody's coming back in. Amazon started this week. Everybody had to be in the office. The reality is that doesn't mean they don't need the collaboration technology. Actually, they need more of it. And so that will be a really big opportunity with intelligent video. How can you make that a great experience for everyone? Intelligent audio, right? And the rise of AI, the importance of a really accurate and great audio, feeding the right transcript and the right summaries.
Even real time. I see real time transcripting is going to be a big part of that.
It is, right? And a fundamental need in enabling that, of course, is the right hardware in the room to deliver a really good audio experience so that you can do that. And then, of course, the remote management and monitoring of controlling all of this technology. So content, collaboration, control, those are huge trends that we see are not going away, right? They will just continue to grow.
So kind of a final question. If you could offer just kind of a peek behind the curtain into one of the big goals that Crestron hopes to achieve in 2025, what would you say?
I think I know the answer, Steph.
Yeah.
Because I talked to Brad yesterday. I think he's going to say cloud.
Yeah.
I think that is certainly a very important one, cloud. You will see us make some shifts in our cloud platform to help make it more accessible to everyone, right? And get more devices under management there. I think that is certainly really critical. One of the things that you'll see from us in a bigger way too is a more overt statement regarding our goals related to sustainability. Actually, we will be publishing our first sustainability report early this year. And so that's certainly a big trend for us. And then the other one, of course, is related to AI and our commitment to helping customers create spaces that are ready for this AI era, right? And really create intelligent spaces that help them get more value out of their AI investments and their technology investments. So those are some big goals for us this year.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, and we're going to. Brad mentioned 3 or 4 things that are incorporated in a brand new, a new-ish product from Crestron called the Video Bar 70. Which is, by the way, Teams and Zoom certified. It has the intelligent video, the intelligent audio, and some AI in it as well. And it is a unique video bar because it has multiple cameras built into the bar. So it is different than most of the video bars out there. At the beginning of last year, Steph, one of the things you may remember I said in my crystal ball was like all these video bar companies will make it because they all have some differentiation there. And what it comes down to is, people who are already adopted in a platform. So for example, if you're already using Air Media, this is the product you can drop in there. You're already using ClickShare, you're going to use the ClickShare bar, right? I mean, they're all going to have their own little market share. So let's check out this video from Crestron. And Brad, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's get into some stories, Gary. It's like
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
What's the news you need to care about? Because the beginning of the year, there's not a lot of news usually, but we got a lot of stories.
There's not a lot of news. I think that around in like a few days is when the inbox is going to start getting busy.
Well, we got some news. We got some news. So stay tuned.
Some news.
We got another 13 minutes with you.
Yes, this came out. This was in the end of December. So this is from Dyn Audio. This is the Symphony Opus 1 immersive soundbar. This was already out, but they did add some updates to it. And I'm a big fan of this soundbar, but they kind of updated its immersive design. So this thing is huge. It's got a 73-inch wingspan, so it integrates with about an 83-inch TV. And this is, perfect for music, movies, of course, gaming. And so behind the wooden fins that you can kind of see on the front of it, there's 24 drive units, 6 soft dome tweeters, 14 mid bass drivers, and 4 dual diaphragm force canceling subs. So these.
So this is not a Sonos Beam.
No. No, not at all. So this is for the people that want something that is like absolutely gorgeous. This is super high end. And also if you just want it to have that very, very sleek look with your TV. So really, really gorgeous. The new updated version is basically, it's got all of that amplification and processing of the previous version, but it's now actually inside the soundbar. So more straightforward installation process. And you don't need to buy, house, connect external components anymore. So it's just kind of making that process a little bit easier instead of like having to do all this to connect your speaker. So it's still gorgeous, still amazing. It's just like a little bit easier on the person who installs it. So yeah.
All right. At the end of last year, Kramer purchased rAVe. And now rAVe has announced that Bob Michaels is going to retire. I mean, that dude's been an icon in the industry. He's been around forever. He was one of the first companies that entered the AV over IP market. I mean, they've been unique. They pioneered a lot of video distribution stuff, especially RF distribution. And he's retiring. We wish him the best. Another of our sponsors, as you know, is Shure. And one of the hot products that they have is the 902X ANI-USB kit, which we reported on at the end of last year. That's an audio conferencing kit that simplifies setup with, and of course, is for collaboration. So check this out because it's an all-in-one bundle you can order at one time. And you could, of course, get more information on everything we're talking about here by simply scanning that QR code. I promise that video has audio. And when we post this online and we restream at noon, that will have audio. So Kwikset, if you are looking for a smart door handle, and actually when I read the headline for this, I was like, I don't understand this. But then I looked at the product and watched the product video stuff, and I was like, okay, I want to change all my door handles, because like when you're walking to your back door at night, now it gets nights at 4:50 p.m. Isn't it cool? This thing, motion detection, the lights up your door handle. But here's the cool thing: if you have the app connected to it, it just automatically unlocks. Yeah, you can actually have the door automatically open. There's some really cool features here of this product. It's obviously designed as a high-end home product. It's from Kwikset. It's called Halifax. It's got an LED light built into it. It's motion activated. If you have a kid's bedroom, the kid needs to be able to see how to get out of the room. It can be used as a night light. I just like cool differentiated products.
Yeah, and
you
that's
can get more information on it by scanning that QR code. Go ahead, Steph. You do
that product is going to go crazy at this year's CEDIA Expo, I think.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. So JetBuilt announced something called JetPay. And, Gary, when you wrote this up, you were like, this had to be Paul Dexter's idea. Like this.
It has to, because he is very focused on really simplifying things for integrators. And what this does is it's like a full payment system.
Yeah.
So that an integrator doesn't have to deal with this.
Yes.
And so, I assumed it must be his idea, because he's very, very keen on what can I do next to simplify,
to just make this process a little bit easier, because as you know, like a project from beginning to end, there's so many steps, so many pieces and parts. So this just kind of makes the payment part a lot easier. So what JetPay does is it integrates payment management into JetBuilt's platform. So this is just a few more steps to let clients easily sign proposals, change orders, process deposits, make progress payments, final balances. All of this, it can be done in JetBuilt now. So
congratulations to them. I like it. They'll of course focus on this at ISE. Another one of our sponsors is rAVe, and rAVe is that PTZ camera company that has these unique products for every possible application. Well, they're going to be at the FETC show in booth 1095. They're going to show the new EdTech events. The new EdTech product line. They're going to focus on educational technology for obvious reasons. And, they're doing some really cool stuff, and nobody puts in one camera in a classroom anymore. Steph, you're doing at least two or three, especially to be able to follow the presenter around, but also be able to pay attention to what the students are saying. So they have a full line of everything. And to me, I think the coolest thing is they've differentiated their products by having products that are aimed at specific markets. Like, for example, healthcare. They have a set of products that just focus on healthcare. And on classrooms as an example. So check them out. If you're going to the show, if you scan that QR code, we can actually send you information. You can see information on LinkedIn on how to join them at the show and get a tour of their booth. But hey, Steph, I wrote up a story earlier or maybe it was late last week about Visa. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, the new display HDR 1000 specification, the clear
new true black standards.
Yeah. And these are, what's happened is this is a preparation for 8K, but also a preparation for multiple screen applications. So when you go to like Times Square and you see these giant monitors, and those are 8K, 12K, 16K. And it's basically like a giant digital canvas where we're putting content everywhere. There has to be a standard for doing that. And so this is sort of like preparing for the future. Most of us aren't going to have 8K TVs, even you can go out and buy one. Samsung has one, Sony has one. That's not the kind of thing we're going to buy right now. But this is preparing for the future and making sure that we have the right connector standards and signal path for all that kind of stuff. And you can learn all about that. I mean, this is sort of like for the techie people. They're true AV techs that just love this stuff. But, we like to keep you informed.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of our final story of the day. So this is from Extron. And this was also late December. Extron is now shipping the first in its family of 4K 60 DTP3 scaling presentation matrix switchers. And so this is the Crosspoint 884 configurable size presentation matrix switcher with 4 reversible DTP3 ports. So it can do matrix configurations of 8x12 to 12x8. It features HDMI, DTP3 inputs and outputs, audio DSP, Dante audio, 200 watt class D power amplifier, I think, and a control processor. So it can do a lot, and it supports video, like I said, 4K 60, 444 color sampling as well. So this is now shipping. So yeah.
So we are next week, we're going to do a preview of ISE 2025 on January 14th at 2 p.m. If you want to join us for that preview, you can register now by scanning that QR code or go to launch.com. If you have a launch account, LAVNCH, if you have a launch account, that makes it easier for you to join. You can join ad hoc at the last moment. But if you do not have an account, you need to register before. Even if you have an account, just quickly register if you can. It's kind of a little bit about what we think we're going to see at ISE. And we're included in that is going to be Haley Klein from PSNI. And you think about PSNI, they are global, handling lots of different companies from around the world. And Robert Lingley from CandioVision is also going to join us. And we may have a couple other guests, I'm not sure. But ultimately, that event is going to be our only pre-ISE event. We're going to do a lot at ISE. We'll be broadcasting to you live every day from ISE. We'll talk to you more about that, but we got a month to figure all that stuff out. So
yeah,
if just as a last minute call out, if you need to go to ISE and you want a free code, so if you've spent $2,500 flying across the flying across the pond from the US, or from Africa to Europe, or you're flying from the Netherlands to Barcelona, or you're flying from China or Taiwan to Barcelona, we will save you a few $100s with our code. So you just use code RAVEPubs and you can get into the show for free. So after you spend $8,000 to get there, we'll get you in there for free.
Well, it is expensive to get there, but being there is totally worth it.
And the food is awesome.
If you want to see all of the technology that is going to basically set the tone for the rest of the year, if that is something that is important to you, and it should be, then you need to attend that show. It's going to be fantastic. Probably one of my favorite shows of the year. And yeah, I can't wait to be there.
Well, I will see you, Steph, on the 14th for our show then, but also I'll see you live next week for rAVe TV. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we appreciate the support. Always, you can see all of our past rAVe TV episodes by going to ravepubs.com and clicking on the TV link. And Steph, it's always great doing this with you. And I look forward to an awesome 2025.
Same. And yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for watching. All right, we'll see you next week.
It's the weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.